Hello, this week you are going to be working on part 3 of the distance learning project. Remember, you can opt out and complete the bingo squares, 2 of them in place of this assignment, which is 2 labs, and you can submit 2 of those reflections explaining what you did with pictures, and that would explain or replace this assignment. If you did part 1 and 2, the actual assignment, you need to complete part 3. And remember, if you started with a partner, you can continue doing this with a partner. So the objective of this screencast is kind of explain to you how to do this so you understand. So what we've done is before you start putting together recipes, which is the objective of this, is you're going to create an entree and a side in which you would sell at your restaurant. So if you picked fine dining, you're going to pick a recipe that's going to support that. If you picked a burger, you're obviously going to be creating a burger recipe to support your concept. So it should all kind of match together. And then you are going, after you come up with your recipes, you're going to be costing it out. All right. Now, we would like you to stay within a budget of $10. All right. So to stay in that budget of $10, you're going to have to be very frugal, meaning cost conscious with your money. All right. Now, if you go over or under, there's a part number 5, that you would modify. So if you end up going over, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Just try to stay within a budget of $10. Okay. So what we have done is we've put together an example. Okay, so you can use this. Obviously, please don't use these recipes. You would get a 0. So what I chose to do is I'm doing a cafe restaurant. All right. So at my cafe restaurant, I'm going to be selling a peanut butter, banana, and fluff sandwich. All right. And then my side is going to be a berry yogurt parfait. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a recipe. Now, your recipe you can make up off the top of your head, or you can simply look up a recipe online and copy and paste it. Obviously, change the formatting so it all fits nicely into this document. All right. And your yield, you need to make this for 4 people. All right. So for a peanut butter, banana, and fluff sandwich, I did look up this recipe. I could type this off the top of my head, but I looked up a recipe because it was easy, right? And the recipe I found only yield 1. So I had to change it so my ingredient amounts reflected. So I'm going to make 4 sandwiches. So obviously I need 8 slices of bread, specify the amount of peanut butter, banana, marshmallows, butter, etc. And then I have just basic instructions on how I would complete this meal or this sandwich. All right. When I'm done with that, now I have to have a side. All right. So I decided, because it's a cafe, I'm going to do a berry yogurt parfait. And then I put together the amount. You can't just put blueberries. You need to have an amount. Same with any of the ingredients. It needs to be specific. All right. And then I have my directions. All right. So after you're done making your entree recipe and your side, all right, then you are going to cost. Now, let me give you some tips. It is better to spend more of your money on the actual entree, especially if you're doing casual dining, fine dining, because it's going to have meat, right? So typically you should spend more money on your entree, and then your side should be cheaper. A baked potato, a side of broccoli, maybe some pasta, something that is very low cost, so then you can spend all your money on your recipe. For the purpose of the screencast, when you'll see it, my costing, the entree is actually cheaper than the side, but it is a cafe, so there's a variety. Okay, so then what you're going to do, part 3 and 4, is you're going to cost the entree, and then you're going to cost the side. All right. So what I did was the amount, because you're making this for 4 people, I just transferred my ingredient amounts that I had wrote for a recipe of yielding 4, and I put it here. You're going to look up your ingredient prices on Amazon Fresh. Okay. So if you don't know how to do that, what you're going to do is I'm already in it. So you just go to Amazon. You change this to Amazon Fresh, okay? And then you're just going to type in your ingredient. So say I need white bread, okay? White bread, just like so, okay? Because I'm doing this at a cost conscious, I'm literally going to look at the cheapest one, which is my classic Wonder white bread. All right. And then here it shows me $1.98 for the entire loaf. Okay. And it's a 20-ounce bag. So it actually does some of the math for me. It's saying that it's about 10 cents a slice. All right. So then what I did for you is so you can kind of get an idea, and you can use any of these ingredient amounts, and you can copy these if you're using bread, whatever. I just linked it so you could see what I found. All right. Now here is where it gets a little bit more tricky. Here's the costing. I showed you my work. I would like you to show as much of the work as possible, because if your amount is not realistic, we're not going to give you full credit. So try to be as realistic as you can. If you're off a couple cents, we're not going to be checking every little thing, but we would like you to be as on point as possible. So let me show you how I did the bread. So I need 8 slices, right? Well, $1.98 for a loaf. So I took the as purchased price of $1.98 and I divided it by 20. There are 20 slices in this loaf. And I knew that because each slice is 1 ounce, and it said it was a 20-ounce loaf. All right. So roundabout, it's about 10 cents per slice, rounded up. Okay. I need 8 slices. So I take 10 cents per slice. I times it by 8 because that's how much I need. So my total unit price for the bread that I need is 80 cents. All right. And I continue doing that. So for the peanut butter is $2.79 for a 16-ounce jar that I found on Amazon. And it was 17. So I divided the as purchase price of $2.79 by 16 because there's 16 ounces in a jar. So it's 17 cents per ounce. Okay. A half cup is about 4 ounces, which I knew because of my equivalents. And so 4 ounces. So I took 17 cents times 4, and I got 68 cents for the total amount that I needed. Okay, so you kind of get the idea of that. When you're done with all of the ingredients, which all my yellow highlighted with red font, I added those amounts together. So my total cost is $2.38 for 4 servings for 4 sandwiches. Okay, so that is pretty low cost. Okay, typically you would see that the entree costs more than the side, but because I was really cheap on the entree, I decided I wanted to go more, and I'm not using protein, which is why it was so cheap. I wanted to go a little bit more expensive on my side item. Okay, so I did a berry parfait. So I have my blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, seasoning, which is my honey and vanilla, and I'm using Greek yogurt. Okay. And when I did that, I actually got $9.47 for 4 servings. So that's over the $10 budget. All right. So, which is fine. It's totally fine. So then part 5, it has you kind of evaluate that. Did you stay in budget? No, I didn't. If yes, how much were you under? So I wasn't on budget. So I'm just going to put no NA because I obviously was not. So I'm going to go down to number 3. If no, how much were you over? Well, when I add $9.47 and then the $2.38 together, I actually was at $11.85. So I was over by $1.85. So A is what will you have to take away or change from your recipes to be within budget. So I decided when I looked at my costs, I didn't want to take away just one specific berry. So I already have blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries. The blackberries seem to be the most expensive when I did it, and they're big. So it was $2.41 for the 5 ounces of the blackberries. So I decided I am just going to use 2 ounces of the blackberries in place of 5, and then that will put me right on budget. All right. So what I'm not going to, you don't have to change any math or anything. You're just going to show the change in your grocery order in part 6. Okay. I am going to use less blackberries to save money. Okay. So obviously you thought about it. You're showing me you thought about it, etc. Now the last one, which is part 6. I don't know why this doesn't say part 6. Okay. You are going to create your grocery list. Now, your grocery list is how you would buy it from the grocery store, okay? Or how we would order it for you from Amazon. Because so I only need 8 slices of bread. However, I can't just go to to the store and be like, yes, I'll take 8 slices of bread. It doesn't work that way. So when you create a grocery list, it has to be the full amounts. It's the way it's going to be sold. Okay. So I'm ordering 1 loaf of white bread. I can't just order a half cup of peanut butter. So I'm going to order a jar of peanut butter and so on. So use this as your reference. Okay. Remember, you're trying to stay within a $10 budget. If you go over, or if you're under, then you'll just kind of reflect on that within part 5. All right. One more thing that I forgot to kind of specify, in your recipe, any way that you are going to be plating. So I'm doing a cafe, so I'm wrapping my sandwich in deli paper, and my yogurt parfait is going in just a 9-ounce clear cup, disposable clear cup with a lid. Now, if you're doing fine dining or casual dining, which requires sit down, you would obviously talk about how you're going to plate that, what kind of plate, things like that. So make sure it's just aligning to your concept so you receive the full credit. All right. If you have any questions, please ask your teacher. Thank you.